So in this video we are going to put our finishing touches to our final artwork for this term. We've got some colour paper and we've also got our chalks as well, just to add in some extra detail. So let's get started. I am going to use this peach paper to create a moon in my background scene. You might need to add a lot of different features if your backgrounds are emptier and you want to fill it with extra detail. However, I've got quite a lot of buildings close together in mind, so once I've added the moon, I'll probably just add one more feature. Let's move this out the way. Using our peach paper, going to draw around something circular. And then, because I'm making a crescent shape, the moon shape, which is something like that. And a bit of a trick to help us, if you move your cup slightly to one side and then add your line, we have got our crescent which we can cut out. So we're not cutting out this area, we're going to cut out this. There you have your crescent moon, which we're going to stick in our background. So I'm going to use my dark orange colour paper just to put in some street lights in front of the buildings, because mine finish halfway down, so actually the buildings go further down where you've got the doors and all sorts. So if we go back to Sean Tan's picture, you can see there is some wires and some pylons in the background, which are cables for electricity and all sorts. So let's make our cables. They're just going to be a series of lots and lots of straight lines. What I mean by that, I'll show you on my scrap paper. Just going to cut out lots of really narrow rectangles, and then we're going to join them in this background part. So we can use the edges of the paper to help us, and it doesn't have to be particularly straight, it just has to be quite thin. So I'm just going to cut out a few different cables. So I've cut out my cables and I'm just going to position them in front of the house. Again, they're not going to be taller than this first row of buildings. And then we need one all the way across. So that can go there, and there. And then we can trim the edges, and that's enough detail, and I think I have finished my art outcome. So I'm just going to trim these bits up. So my mixed media collage is almost complete. Some other ideas, if you don't want to put some cables or a moon on, you could do an edge of a tree. So we can like so. Once you've cut that out, So you can have a tree which kind of forms on the edge of your page. It's like a silhouette picture of a tree. You could add some detail to your windows. So again, you can cut out different squares and different familiar shapes, and you can put some bricks into your building. So using the orange and the green, you can cut out and add in a series of. Finally, we are going to use some chalk pastels. So it's the same media that we used at the beginning to do some of our buildings. And we're just going to make slight improvements and add in different shadows, for example, to our buildings, so they really pop out. So we'll be using a dark version of each. So in this set here, got some dark green, and I'm going to add some shade in, because the green's a darker green than I've chose before. Alternatively, if you want to neaten up some of your buildings and add in detail that way, that would work too. So I'm only going half way, so it's like a shadow down this side, and that means I will also need a dark bluey purple. So I found this purpley colour, and we're just going to do the same. I'm not going to do this on all of our buildings, it's just these at the front that stand out. We want to make these buildings to look quite wow. Just put a little bit of extra pressure. Down one side. Starting to look good already, and I'm just using a darker red. So around here, just frame a little bit more some of our details. Using the white, we can just add a bit of a highlight to this moon. Because when we look at the sky, you see the moon isn't very clear, it's got a glow around it. And we can use our little fingers just to blend and help the moon glow. I've just done that on one side. And finally, add some black to some of the windows. Just helps it stand out a little bit. We're making a bit of a sketch. A bit of a tip, if you use the edge of your pastel, it's a lot sharper, and then you can rotate it. There we go, I think we are finished. But please leave your animal. We're not adding any extra details on the animal, it's just going to be the marbling effect.